Bestow Productions presents Creative Continuity at New York Comic Con 2014. Get the latest news directly from comic book artists and writers. Tune in for Creative Continuity's coverage of NYCC. We bring the convention to you.
I am here with Valiant Editor-in-Chief Warren Simon.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
How long have you been doing this, by the way?
I was an editor at Marvel from 2002 to 2009, and then I've been an editor at Valiant from 2011 to now. So about 10 years. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I tell everyone it's dog years though, so it's actually been about 70 years. It ages me about 7 years, but it's about a decade, yes. We just announced our next initiative, which is called Valiant Next. And the first book that's launching out of that is a book called The Valiant, which is written by two really talented writers, Matt Kindt, who's written a bunch of stuff for us already, books like Unity and Rye, and another writer named Jeff Lemire, who's a really, really talented writer. You may know him from some of his great books like Sweet Tooth and Essex County, and those guys are friends, and they came over to work with us on a book which spans about 10,000 years in the Valiant universe. Features a couple of our key characters, like the Eternal Warrior, Bloodshot, King McHenry, the Geomancer, and we have it, luckily enough, Paulo Rivera, who's one of the most talented artists in the industry, has come over and he'll be illustrating it. So we're super excited for it. The Valiant is the first book that will come out, and that launches in December. And then in January we have Time Walker. That book is by Fred Van Lente and Clayton Henry. Those two guys worked on a really big popular book for us called Archer and Armstrong, a fan favorite. Fred's a really funny writer. We're really excited for this one. And then after that we have two new books coming up. One is called Divinity, and that's also written by Matt Kindt. And that features a cosmonaut from the 1960s Soviet Union returning to Earth and discovering and potentially causing some trouble for the heroes in the Valiant universe. And Matt's writing that, and we have a really talented artist named Trevor Hairsine drawing it. And then we have a book called Imperium, and Imperium's written by this guy named Joshua Dysart, who wrote a Harbinger book for us, which is one of our fan favorites. People love the book. And it's drawn by Dougie Braithwaite, who just finished up our big universe-wide crossover called Armor Hunters. So we're really excited for that one. It's a continuation of one of our key characters named Toyo Harada, so we're really stoked for that book. And then after that, we're launching a book called Ninjak. For as long as I've been here, everyone's been asking us where Ninjak's been. Ninjak will be coming out in March, written by Matt Kindt and drawn by Clay Mann, recently exclusive to Marvel Comics, Clay Mann. Clay's a great guy. He just did Exo-Zero for us. It was absolutely gorgeous, and he'll be launching that book for us. The first 2 pages look amazing. And then we have Bloodshot, which will be written by Jeff Lemire. Jeff's going to be launching the book for us with Miko Soyan on art, and that's what Valiant Next is. Okay. We launched an initiative last year called Valiant First because we had a lot of our fans come up to us and tell us that they read the Valiant books first. They read Marvel, they read DC, they read Image, they loved all the books, but when it came to our books, they used to always come out and read Valiant first, and we heard that over and over and over again, so we named our initiative last year Valiant First, and this is Valiant Next, so we're super excited for it. Archer and Armstrong is a book that features an immortal hedonist named Armstrong, who's been around for about 10,000 years, and he's probably been drunk for about 9,000 of those 10,000 years. And then his buddy Archer, who was raised in a religious compound in the Midwest. And when the guys launched the book, it got a lot of buzz. It was a big hit for us. Clayton Henry's an extraordinarily talented artist. He's got an exceptional ability to control emotion and how the characters look on the page. It's pretty fantastic.
Is there any type of advice that you would like to give for aspiring creators, artists, writers, since you know a lot about the industry?
Yes. What I'd say is most importantly, get the work done. If you're a writer, find an artist. It doesn't matter if it's published by Marvel or DC or Valiant or Image, or if it's a ash can that's printed out at Kinko's and photocopied. Get something done that you can hand to editors in the industry. Get something done that you could show to people, that you can write, that you can draw. Don't worry about making Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns your first time out. Don't worry about making the best book of the history of our medium the first time you're doing it. Work hard, put the hours in, because it's a very difficult job and it's a lot of hard work if you want to break into the industry as a writer or penciler. But most importantly, have something done that looks like a comic book that you could circulate. I think that's important. at least as a first step for someone aspiring to break into the industry.
And this has been Valiant Editor-in-Chief, Warren Simons.
We interrupt our scheduled programming for this report from Harold Gann at RetroCon.
I'm here with Zack Hoffman.
I was the guy in high school that did all the impressions. And then when I finally got the role of G.I. Joe, I walked into a room and it was all the guys in high school that did all the impressions.
Wow.
You know? So we just had a great time. Everybody could do everybody else's voice. We just had a fun time doing the show.
What did you think when you saw the character? Where did you come up with the voice?
Well,
what came to you?
What came to me was they told me that he was a mercenary. So that's a mindset, and then also, so I took two characters from literature. I read part of A Clockwork Orange, and that character Alex.
Yes.
And then I read Shakespeare's Merry Wives of Windsor, and I took part of the character of Falstaff, who's very full of himself, as Zartan is full of himself always.
How long did you work on G.I. Joe?
From the beginning to the end, you know, like the last show that I did. Well, I guess the end of a certain portion of G.I. Joe, but they did the series and then they did the film, G.I. Joe the movie, and I was in all of, you know, the I guess the 2 seasons and the movie and one of the miniseries.
Okay, awesome. So after G.I. Joe, what doors open from there? I know you went on to do other acting and stage plays.
I was acting for, you know, that's it, stage plays, and I did a couple of films, and I wrote a one-man show called Tuxedo Man, which I'm still performing.
Awesome.
And it's a wonderful show. It's about a down-and-out lounge singer, and you get to see him three-dimensionally, and it's really, people love this show.
So do you actually do any lounge singing?
Yes. Yes, it's a character named Nick Sands, and the director says, what did he say? He's 2 scotches away from oblivion. You know, it's the guy. They've been doing the same show over and over again for many, many years, and he tries to keep reinventing himself. It's just a wonderful show. And yes, you watch this guy get ready to go on stage, and then the stage turns 180, and then he walks out and does his show, and then the stage turns again, and you get to see him after the show is over.
Oh, so that takes a degree of acting chops right there. You got to go in deep and constantly switch characters. That's awesome. Now, what was the inspiration behind putting together this stage play?
You know, I've met these people in my life. It's a composite character that I always thought, these professional singers, you know, these lounge guys, these Sinatra-esque entertainers, have really been made fun of, and never been given a guy who has a soul and a heart and a struggle. And that was an inspiring for me. And then there's a nostalgia. You know, here we are remembering the 80s, and this guy is the same kind of guy. He loves hooking into a time that made him feel wonderful.
This little Jewish guy comes up to me and he starts poking his finger right in my chest. And he says, "You are a good singer, but nobody wants to see Frank Sinatra dressed like a bum."
People love this show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now how is voice acting compared to live acting? I heard people saying that voice acting is not as easy as people may think it is.
No, well, it's never. You have to, whatever you do in acting, you have to come from a place of being genuine, and you have to find that connection so that people connect with you.
What was your favorite G.I. Joe episode and why?
Well, I always have to go with Cold Slither.
Okay.
Because it's just funny, and we got to sing. You know, they were going to hire rock and roll singers, and we said, no, we'll do it. We can sing. And so they brought us in, and I thought there was going to be a band behind us, but there wasn't. So we had to make that adjustment. And I've watched the show recently, and I like it. But the last line that I deliver is, when Zartan has been just filled with all this adulation.
Okay.
And then, of
All
course,
right.
the mind control thing goes away,
All
and
right.
everybody walks away. And there's Zartan's line is,
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
"Where did everybody go?" And it was sort of an homage to Bette Midler in the Rose,
Right.
who was like hooked into the audience. So I just remember that and having a lot of fun.
This is Harold Gant with Zack Hoffman. Check out Tuxedo Man. You can find it at zackhoffman.com. Showtimes, locations. It's a great play by a great actor and a great voice actor. Creative continuity, Zack Hoffman, Harold Gant, signing off.
Hi, my name's Adam, aka Squarepainter, and I paint video game scenes from mostly 8-bit and 16-bit era. Probably the Rocky, that's my latest one. I'm a huge fan of the Rocky movies, and also this is kind of a custom piece. The whole background is something I created from a photograph. The complex piece I have here, I guess, would be the Final Fantasy VII, because I had to take that from a rendered PlayStation cutscene and then pixelate it and then paint it. So that's adding a whole extra step to the process. Nostalgia, I guess. I love video games. You know, it's stuff that we all grew up with and stuff that I still play today. I collect video games too, so just some love of games. Always, I have some ideas for some Star Wars paintings. I'm obviously a fan. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just search Squarepainter. You'll find all my stuff on there. And it's been at RetroCon. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Fred Van Lente, as many people know, is one of the most talented writers in the industry. Joining us right now is Jeff Lemire, who's going to be launching Bloodshot for us. Jeff, any thoughts on Bloodshot?
Yeah, he got guns. He's white.
He's got guns. He's white, red eyes. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's it.
You just wanted to come in and out, in and out.
In and out. He's back now.